Axiom, Izzy, Fozzy, they were trying to prevent catching the attention here from Vico, Veno, Flixie, but this is an experience, I think, for first-time finalist players. It's always important to kind of get your toes in the water and get a little bit of a taste of what a set lobby looks like in a finals like EU. But Vico, Veno, Flixie, probably so happy about getting that refresh. That was a lot of material and everything else they could possibly want for this bedside push.
Yeah, a quick lesson for the up-and-coming talent from Vico, Veno, and Flixie to what you're really up against. Going against the best of the best. Best way to improve. And now, with those 6 eliminations, they are more than set up to have a solid match here and get closer and closer to overthrowing that first place spot. But for some trios, it's more than just a solid performance on the leaderboard. It's a chance to compete at a global stage. And that's what Volko, Cringe, and Badila look for.
Cutting it a little bit too close for comfort in more ways than one. Surge, not as healthy as they would like it to be. Go for a big creative play onto Artis, but Artis will barely manage to escape. And too many eyes on Cringe, now a victim of the lobby. Fortunately, he still got Volko and Badil. Throw his body backwards, but Waze immediately tried to jump on the opportunity. Instead, Gabix getting shut down forward alongside his teammate. Gabix just gonna roll right through instead, but Volko, he's gonna be the main one to hold strong here. Maciak knows that this team is just to her and Badil over the last man standing, trying to confirm this fight. That tree just getting in everybody's way at the same time. They lost Cringe, but Vadil, what a finish. He'll at least have Volko to try and play through this endgame with.
It's still doable, but I think an even bigger problem is the rotate they're going to have to do late now. Quite literally the last trio that's going to make it in. All eyes will be on them. Very unfortunate how it did end up, but you know, in the end, it's possible to do it as a duo. It's going to be a lot more difficult, but at least they were able to pick up that last elimination. We'll see if they can continue forward. Sped beats another trio kind of right on that borderline, trying to hold on. I see in Kidoi close by. Strokey up as well.
And these teams are just looking to try and find a little bit of uncontested space towards that front side low. We've seen plenty of interchangeable moments towards the high ground in these final zone appearances that for Strokey, Bevies, and Kidoi, all they're looking to do is just create as much space as possible and then hold the teams behind them. Or take advantage of Creatives playing through your back cart, but at least for right now, willing to sit tight. 355 above still. So not an immediate pressure rush necessarily on their damage metrics, but they want to stay out of the battle, and that's something that Seti, Yapko, and Panther find themselves kind of stuck between. Although they look to be on the winning ends of it. Swizzy, Queasy, Merstash. Two different teams looking at them. They'll try to fall back, but I fear they're just getting lobbied at this point, Takata.
Threw Swizzy like a sacrifice there for a moment. Said, take out him, not me. Queasy, Merstash now left as a duo. This is a common occurrence for this trio. They are going down right before the moving zones. Right before it, when it matters most in terms of placement points, but they've got a high position. They've got a good amount of damage. And despite being a duo, they definitely will have what it takes. One shot is all it took for Volko to go down as well. What a clean connect.
And it's not even just that. Badil's now looking to try and play for the revive, but Badil is underneath, just getting ticked away by Surge. The last small shield potion, the last med miss grenade. He does still have a med kit, and he's been bailed out at these final moments, but he's just too much on the cusp. He's trying to get ahead now. Surge is about to start ticking away at his life. But if he can find a little bit of breathing room, he might be able to pull something crazy together.
And with the 6 metal boxes that he built, I think it's going to be enough to protect him for at least a few more seconds. Vico, Benno, Flixie now looking to get the performance they need to take that first place spot. Nabil needs some tags for above. Only a few minis and a med kit left.
Fake it till you make it, Vidil. He's playing as if he's not a solo. He doesn't really have any other options. He's trying to get ahead to see if he can find a big pump connection. A refresh would be everything right now from his current standing. Anything to get those additional placement points. But Vanya and Marius Pixie, they're going to make that journey all the more difficult. They've got control of height right now, Takada, and they have max material, basically. Rags to riches kind of component here as Vidil ticked away once more by the surge. He needs to find a shot. And he connects, but it's just not enough. He's just not healthy. And he goes down. Merstache, Queasy. Could be a different outcome entirely. Midground. A little bit of a hold here. Kurama, Kiddo, X underneath. Gotta watch him make sure that those floors don't suddenly disappear.
Great job holding it out as a duo, though. No longer playing for hype, and Kiddo is gonna go down. Bevy's left alone. 10 builds, and it's all wood. As he's just 11 shield left, forced to pop a couple minis, but unfortunately, from down under, is gonna get eliminated. Marius, Pixie, Vanya, looking healthier than ever above. Vico, Benno, Flixie, choosing more of a mid-ground route here. Actually gets the knock onto iDrop. Tyree Cammy now put into a world of pressure as they've gotten a massive elimination, putting them 1,800 above, and now with Zone pulling back, they're gonna recycle that tarp.
Vika, Benno, Flixie, they want more than just to recycle their old builds. They want to take control of the front side of Zone. They beat everybody else to the punch, have a chance to heal up a little bit, and now they just look back, they control. And backside target, they can play through 3 edits. They have so much space claimed, though, in this frontside low position. Another team just ahead of them. CZB, Axe Force, Nathan, they don't know that these are their builds. Vika opens up with some big shots, and CZB will be the first to fall. Nathan now trying to see if he can escape the clutches of, Vico, Benno, and Flixie, but it's just not enough here to Takada. It's so many eliminations already for this team.
They haven't even been hit. The chemistry is looking like an all-time high from Vico, Benno, Flixie. Yapko left alone, doing what he can to maintain that momentum from the previous win they just got in the last match, down to just a couple med mists. Now has a bit of time to breathe in the zone. Pixie, Marius, Vanya still without a single ounce of pressure up above. Just raining down on the trios below them. Yapko now going to make his way onto zone. Last med mist is going to be used. Has to find the angle here. Kind of opening a path that he can later go through. I don't even know if he's going to make it, though. He might hear Akira behind him. An opportunity for a quick siphon, but without the connection, he's not going to get it. Falls to zone.
Just doesn't make it in time. The lobby is so stifling right now for Queasy, who's just barely managed to go undetected from the team on high. Marius, Vanya, Pixie. This is going to be a battle of high versus low. Benno, Vico, Flixie, one of the few teams that could be in a realistic chance of overtaking the high ground, but with the way that Marius, Benno are currently in control, Pixie will get stopped though, and Vico, he's gonna barge right in with that knock. The elimination, siphon the materials, but more importantly, Vanya and Marius are now a duo in comparison to this trio. 9 eliminations, make it 11. Flixie just waiting to see whether it'll be Vanya or Marius who drops first. Marius loses all of his shields. Flixie doesn't have any either. Cammy now wanting to join the party though, and it's Vico, Benno. They're gonna pay the ultimate price with their lives. Marius and Vanya somehow, some way managed to hold on to height. Cammy and Adi though, talk about a menace situation. They just ruined it for Benno, Vico, and Flixie. And now Cammy gonna try and ruin it for Marius on height, but he can't make it up. The misform doesn't take him high enough. Chicho, Aegis, and Payson all the while. They might not have materials, but they have each other. And that could be the deciding outcome here. Vanya falling back, has a little bit of HP still left in the Chug Jug. Chicho, similar mentality. But Vanya, he's got nothing else left. He has to actually chase after Chicho, but they're just too far away. Chicho still has his mist form too. Chicho's still getting tagged up from behind. Vanya might just be able to close the gap. Vanya makes it happen. Marius, Pixie, and Vanya steal this one away. What an upset.
You can't run! You can't hide! Vanya, Pixie, Marius closing it out, securing themselves a top 3 placement back on that leaderboard. They were waiting for the win to come through. They were so close throughout the day. They got us out in the victory royale.
Sometimes it's just crazy enough until it works, and Vanya completely out of options. The only choice to be made in that instance, Takata, was to try and chase down that final elimination, at least keep them in the line of sight to apply that pressure. But the high ground hold here was so impressive. Maybe a slight bailout, though, from Cammy and Hadi, because they did kind of sandwich Venom, Vico, and Flixie in the process, but still, Marius had to keep his cool collected.
And that is exactly what he did, counting on Vanya in those last moments to chase Chicho down for the final pump shot. 24 HP is what he had left when he connected the shot, and that is definitely going to boost them into the top 3. I'm excited to see how it's looking, but I'm more excited to see Frankie, Levin, and Minnie take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. That is the Vanya we have loved watching in FNCS for the past couple of years. It feels like despite their 4th place on the leaderboard going into Game 10, they've slightly been missing in action so far this major. But now we've seen them finally take a victory royale. It feels like order is restored, Mini Miner.
Yeah, it definitely does. This is a prime sort of Vanya, Pixie, Marius win. This is exactly how I expected them to play at the beginning of the weekend. I expected more of this sort of high ground domination, and wow, what a high ground domination it was. They kept reconnecting down below. Nobody could really even look up, and then they got so far into the game that then Vico, Venom, Flixie thought to look up as well, and they decided to spray them out. And again, they're a really good team at doing that, but Levin, they were able to just bat them away really effectively, and I think a couple of other trios definitely helped them in that push, but a huge win for these guys and a great push for them.
I love the drone shot there of their height, right? The connection points, just how solid it looks. Anybody looking up is thinking, yeah, no chance for us at all. This is what we've been waiting to see, like you guys have both said so well. And a perfect time to see it, right? So many of their top competitors high up there in the leaderboards didn't have quite the best of games. First place in particular, Fredoxy's trio had gone down, and so if there was ever going to be a even with that being said, I didn't think they were going to win this game. At the final moments, I'm looking down, and I saw was getting ready to come in here and be like, hey man, Tayson with a win. Hey, big win for Tayson. But I guess these guys said, nah, don't count us out too early. Marius with some huge shots there. Vanya catching it with the perfect timing. I mean, you know, I know a lot of us in that situation might have missed that shot. You know, I know I would have missed that shot. So, you know, the best of the best, they don't miss in those situations, and that's exactly what Vanya is.
This is the key thing about this trio. Not only are they at their most comfortable in the high ground, they are also fighters, but can they fight for the top spot? We will see if they can continue with a back-to-back major win after the next couple of games. So let's go to a break and we'll go onwards with the tournament. There are just 2 more games of the FNCS Europe competitive season, and they are going to be absolute bangers. Judging by how the gaps on the leaderboard are closing, it's very tough at the top. But it was a good showing for one of those contenders in the last game. Vico, Veno and Flixi, they managed 11 eliminations and a 5th place. And when they are making it to these end games 11, they do tend to be picking up a lot of names.
Look, very good game to close the gap even more. Potentially a missed opportunity, right? You know, you don't know how many of those games you're going to get where Chino and them do absolutely nothing. And so, you know, they want to maybe squeeze a bit more out of that game, right? That was a game I was, you know, hoping that they could win again to maybe take 1st place. Regardless of that, though, Mini Miner, I know these next couple games about to get ridiculous. So something crazy is going to happen. It's just guaranteed. With how close it is now, I saw, you know, Fredoxy tweeting about needing 3 for off-spawn practice. I don't know what's going to happen these next 2 games, but I know it's going to blow my mind.
It's going to be exciting. It's going to be really, really exciting. But yeah, Vico, Veno and Flixi, they needed to have some sort of a solid game here. We were sort of speaking in the back whether they would have known that Fredoxy's team would have gone down, and they probably would have. So they knew they needed a solid game. Again, it's one of those sort of games where, as you mentioned, they could have done a little bit better, but it keeps them in it. It keeps them up on the top of the leaderboard. There's even a potential for Vanya Pixie and Maris to squeak in there as well. So we've still got a very, very close race at the top of the leaderboard. It's just about now, what's Fredoxy going to do? Is he going to continue that sort of W key? We're going to see a little bit more reserved game plan from them. Are they going to stick to what works? I'm not too sure yet.
There were difficult moments for quite a few of the trios in the top 10 in that last game. However, Tayson, Cheetah and Haris, they are constantly there at the end game right now, Mini Miner. It's no surprise to see them still in 5th position. They are definitely looking comfortable for global championships. I'm not so sure about them managing to make it to the number 1.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll be really happy with how they're doing today. Of course, they are already qualified from last major as well, so they already have that sort of, you know, flexibility, that little bit of freedom, right? But I think what I'm expecting from these guys is just more of the same. They seem to do really, really well when it comes to these end games, playing that low ground, as we mentioned before, and Chicho in particular has been clutching up so many points for this team, and the way that they were able to sort of stay alive as a trio here in the end game was really strong too. So they've been keeping up there, Lemon. They've been keeping in that position.
Yeah, honestly, at this stage, I'm at the point with these guys where I'm very chuffed, right? You know, when you look at Tayson and sort of the year and a half he's had, there were a lot of washed allegations, you know? There was a lot of people saying he needs to pack it up. He's done. And now, you know, assuming they close it out similar to this position, you know, around that 5th spot, that's going to be 2 back-to-back majors where Tayson's had a good result. And that's, you know, a very good sign going into the global championships. It's good to see him, Haris and Chicho performing.
But with that in mind as well, I mean, you could have said that about Seti and Cammy's trios. And I know that Cammy hasn't necessarily had the best finals here. He's definitely shown, though, that there is definitely a skill there. But we've got to talk about Seti, because Seti is absolutely challenging for that top spot. Yes, he might not have the same firepower across the board as Fredoxy's trio, but it's been a really impressive showing so far, Levin.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been very impressive. It's been exciting. I can't wait for the excitement. None of us can wait for the excitement. And I mean, thinking in terms of the leaderboard, it's heating up, Paco. It's definitely heating up.
Things are definitely getting pretty crazy out there, Takata. Nobody is safe. Levin already mentioned it, but you got Fredoxy looking to get a little bit wicked on socials, and if this is how it's going to turn into an ultimate brawl fest between some of our top-end teams in EU, I am all for it, Takata, because what looked like it was going to be a 2-horse race has now opened up for a few other teams. Let's see what Game 11 has in store.
A lot is on the line here for these final 2 matches. Cammy's done a great job to push himself into currently the borderline, the cutoff to qualify to the global championship is 330 points. Mr. Savage, CZB, Nathan, these are 2 trios that are right below them, right below that cutoff. And if you look at the top end of the leaderboard, Fredoxy at 614 points, Vico, Veno, Flixi 580, a lot closer now to that 1st place spot.
But one point of pressure that's definitely been a little bit alleviated is exposed enclave. Vadil, Cringe, Volko no longer longer being immediately 50-50 contested at this drop. And right now sitting just on the outskirts of the leaderboard. Takada heading into this lobby, they are in that 12th place position. So they're definitely not out of this fight just yet for Globals. But some teams might be out of the lobby pretty early on here at Supernova Academy because Pablo, Frodoxy, Chino, they've got company. And it's kind of odd to think that a team would want to take their chances, but sometimes you never know the way the cookie's gonna crumble.
I feel like they knew they were getting dropped on too. With, you know, Frodoxy posted on socials 3 for 3 off spawn. Wanted to get a quick bit of practice in before it started. Looks like it was Robin, Kylie, and Co.
Chino's not convinced. He knows someone is lurking, and he's trying to out-lurk them. Frodoxy and Pablo can take care of the other affairs, but Chino's sick of the wait. He's ready to get a move on, get a little bit more involved. But Robin, silent as a mouse, just tucked away inside of the buildings at Supernova Academy, and Chino isn't careful. Could find himself getting knocked, and that would leave them in a pretty awkward position. But Robin as a solo, even if he gets one, he still has to deal with the other two.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's a battle from, opposite ends of the leaderboard. It's almost been a blessing.
ترى ونشت يلمك ونشت حرام يلمك حرام عليك.
Off the start, but the issue is, I mean, the whole point, the whole play style from Frodoxy, Chino, and Pablo
حرام صراحة عليك صح لأنه عندك اثنين.
And get out of there as fast as possible and start disrupting the players around you. So
حرام صراحة طبقت شجرة.
Huge start, especially considering the place they are right now in the standings. Exactly.
It's not only that, but it seems like that earlier, somewhat of a where both teams had initially been splitting Shining Span and Kami Hadi, they got sick of it. They're like, what are we giving
بس ما في أحد يشوفك.
for? So early fights, early outcomes just mean
باقي 10 دقائق بتخلص البطولة. مجمات.
good start.
الله يرحمه.
Getting a little bit of motion here from Maciak, Perhala, Kaisers, all depends. Are they going to be able to find a big opening shot here onto Trexer or Mappy?
طب ليش ليه تهرب ليه؟ يعني حسب إذا هربت ما بمسكك. وانت ليه؟ اوكي بيذبحني عاد. تعال اذبحك تعال. تبي يذبحك المجنون ذا.
I'm more amazed at the fact that someone in a surge base that's at like the top of the stairs of Narnia hasn't spotted what's going down here though. Maybe in the ramps just yet, but
One gray AR.
ذبحته اكس بيذبحني
It's a
عاد.
good opportunity though. Trexer's a bit split up now at the vending machine. They're banking on them heading over here.
they're just far enough away that if they don't connect with the 3-2-1 immediately, they're probably could because Maciak these guys
Here it is.
are just hoping that they can finish this.
Oh,
But Trexer throws up the wall. They don't
ليش
even get
بقى
a chance to take
8 دقائق وتنتهي البطولة اوكي؟ بس اوكي اسوي رقصة ثانية.
Trexer on the run, dropping all the way to the bottom of Foxy's floodgate. Sound the alarms though. Rest of his team knows this is a mayday situation. They're trying to catch up, but Trexer connection out of Perhala.
ليش ما يصير أرقص معك؟
But here are the troops, Mappy. Reinforcements
So
out of
مرة رقصة.
Maciak, Kaisers, Maciak incredibly
سوي
hurt.
رقصة.
He needs Perhala and Kaisers to give some supportive measures here. But now they're playing a little bit more split than what they did initially after. Might actually be able to win this in their favor.
يا عيال حرام ترى وين الناس والله.
Gonna either have to hit a big shot here, make something happen. Trexer looking for an angle. Good news is no potential third party in sight. He doesn't come right on the map.
The other issue that's developing though is that with
يقهر بشكل يعني يجيب غدرة. صراحة يقهر والله، آسفة لكن يقهر.
Simply burrowed themselves into a hole that they aren't going to be able to get out of unless they fight their way through. Tricks are mapping and cheating, but Tricks are mapping cheating. They've got every angle closed off. This entrapment and Kaiser shield gone. To HP soon to follow. For Hala though, they swung around inside the box, but they are fully pieced up. Tricks are mapping cheating, making quick work of Macy X trio. 2 eliminations. Only survivor right now is Perhala, but with no shield and just waiting for that cooldown refresh. He's not going to get the chance on the cave. He's fully locked out.
Taking a bit too long for the 3-2-1. Got forced into
منك تعرفين باقي أتحداك.
worse situations.
أقصد دقائق.
Still got one more match though to make something happen.
كيف أتحداك أصلا؟
On the other end, barely escaping with that mist form right on into the bush. But when you got Queasy and Suzy
قاعد شاهد البث. أسطورة. أساطير.
no big shots
نسويها.
through yet.
أوكي أنت صديقي.
Whole other trio close by. Queasy has to be careful of potential 3-2-1 to come onto it.
He's got red in his eyes. It's actually
هيل شايفك ترى هيل. هذا لقطة بوقة.
Queasy just hoping that he can make some form of escape, but that is not going to be an option.
مسكين شوف حالته كيف مسكين. أمان لما قاعد يلعب بطولة سوي كذا شاف واحد زابر قال مسكين شوف حالته كيف. مسكين شوف حالته كيف مسكين. طيب يلا كسر.
I think they know Snazy is in that bush directly in front of them though.
That's fine. They don't need to know.
الله ياخذ شكله.
That's what Snazy is kind of banking on, that these guys have no idea.
يلا بعد شوي من.
A little bit quicker than that, and Snazy. It's just a lot of delays. I like the fact that
هنا قاسين
some life left in the
يا
fight,
حد.
but Snazy knows his time is up.
لا يستهبل ده جايني أنا خصيصا ليش أنا ليش
And that's a big part of the problem spread across the map here, Takata, is that teams that weren't anticipating these early fights, you just don't know.
يا شيخ خلاص فك من شغلك.
So many different elements are just shifting at once.
ذبحوا
Not the
إن
spot
شاء
you want to be
الله.
in, being kind of on not the literal borderline, but pretty close to it. We're qualifying to globals, so going down.
كان قاعد يلعب ماوس كيبورد شفت كيف السرعة.
Good luck. Good news is no pursuit onto him, so a bit of time to kind of play it slow here, wait for the zone to pull on in, and then go for that reboot in the zone when it's less likely that there's players around you.
صراحة آسف إذا سببت لكم إزعاج. قاعد آكل والله جوعان. العب. ايش نزل لي لوت من الجنة. طبعا.
Try and apply some pressure against Pixie and Vanya and their surge base. Vanya, Pixie, we
يا أخي افتح.
more than enough heals. We're not really in any threat right now, but Boko, Badil, Cringe. They're just
في ناس ترى المز لا ترقص لا ترقص.
and Cringe.
Cringe.
And Ivan. They took the challenge with.
حلو أنا ضد يا عيال والله أنا شكم دمي يا حبيبي هاي. ولد لا تذبح وانا يلا علوبي.
But Cringe closing in. Takata, he might be able to just play for the revive and just draw artists in closer to him. But he has to start going for a revive because he needs to heal his teammates before they get knocked by the storm.
So
قاعدين نقول إنك أسطوري مدري إيش والله مو أسطوري والله. مو أسطوري أقسم بالله. انتم
gonna say go for Volko.
انتم ما شفتوا ايه من الناس كيف يحرق.
The good news is now they're able to bring Volko back into the game.
نسوي ما حد شايفك يعني.
Been a lot
نسوي ما
worse.
حد شايفك.
Friend ended up going
يا
down.
الله كنت بلعب كويس.
Getting a bit of movement in.
Vano saving
Win.
the opening shot onto Atris, but gotta choose your battles wisely.
هرب هرب.
Vano, Vico, Flixie, they know. Whether they get these knocks or pure eliminations, they wanna lock down their surge damage.
Okay.
Vico, Vano, Flixie from overhead.
You just check me video. Hello. Hello.
And Vico not willing to budge either on Atris's wall. Veno from overhead trying to open up a separate angle to try and
مسوي قاعدة الكل عارف ان الدجاجة.
boxed up tight. They do not want to allow for any small openings, any cracks to slip through. But they're constantly on the back foot here, just getting pushed further and further back into Storm.
طيب مو انت ما تركز بس. صالح حلوت انت وانت الثاني.
Rising and they know this. Chicho doing what he can to back
ما
up a
يركز
little
الا ان
further.
حد عندهم او شيء لا بس حلوت.
Flixie, Vico, and Veno know how important it can be to finish these off, these fights off quickly. As Tayson gets knocked, it's exactly what they're gonna end up doing. Medmit's gonna come through. Vico now looking for an angle of potential full box onto Haris here. He gets it, he connects, and that's another knock for the trio. But now the third party is very close, and this could be detrimental.
This is where that Spire control really comes into play. Vika, Veno, and Flixie made a fast enough set of eliminations there that now even with Wheats and Ed and the Freezy looking to try and challenge them.
Yeah.
More than what Wheats and Ed and the Freezy have bargained for, they'll probably just be happy to
Yeah,
take
but
leftovers
that's
with Chicho. But one more time, Kyle, we're looking at teams in that top 5 threshold on the leaderboard that are just
انا
encountering
التوب في العالم التوب في العالم. انا وايد بعيد. توب في العالم انا صاير توب في العالم. داري طيب حلو. اطلع ويش انا سويش السلام عليكم وش انا هسه قاعدين نلعب البطولة. شوف كل جيم صرنا المركز الاول. انت ليش ما خشيت؟
I mean, it was looking for a moment like a dangerous third party, but Vico and Flixie, they're all for it. They said, come on over. We'll invite you to the party, actually, if you want. As now the aggression's onto them. Sined, Wheat, and Frizzy doing what they can to escape. Turned into predator to prey quite quickly, but Vico and Flixie now, they're going to take the safe route. They got their eliminations, they got their damage. They're running a bit low on materials here, so no point in continuing with that pursuit. They're going to back up, play calm, collected again, recuperate those mats, and go forwards. But hold on. Awful. Focus mixing. Maybe they're not even done pushing these players.
صراحة هذه قاعدين نلعبها احنا. اكتب لي تعليق ليش ما دخلت البطولة.
Savage, nice knock onto Jewel. Savage and Chap looking to secure this fight, which just means that
أنس ليش ما دخلت البطولة؟
into this one, but continuing what was taking place with Veno, Flixie, Humble, and Focus.
شوف احنا قاعدين نلعب البطولة الحين.
They're completely trapped right now in the clutches of Veno team, but Veno,
oh no,
follows shortly after, and Flixie, last man standing now for Veno's team, but a huge refresh for Focus, Apple, and Mixon.
الحين هذه البطولة صح كذا البطولة صح صح أنس كذا الحين قاعد نلعب البطولة. نشوف كم نحن ب 16 قتلة أنا وصديقي. حلو أنس شوف التوب هذا اسم حسابي وينر والباقيين هذول اللي أول ثاني ثالث مدري إيش هذا. كم إحنا صديقي هذا.
The end game, not as good loot. I mean, if any trio is going to come back, though, Flixie gets the reboot. Wouldn't be surprised if we see them fight once again, and all it takes is one trio wipe to kind of get what you lost.
حلو. اوكي اوكي يا انس، قاعدين نلعب البطولة. صراحة طلعت الصراحة. صراحة طلعت تعب، ايش ذا، هذه بطولة كذا سنوات. كويس نلعب. اعمل رد. اعمل رد المج. اصبر، روح شوية يا حلو نسى الكيبورد. اصبر، راح نحط واحد. يس، في دراجون واحد. اوكي اصبر. اصبر، ايش كنت ابي؟ ايوه ذكرت. اعمل رجل. طب ذا لا المش خلاص البطولة الحين راح تخلص مدري ايش. خل ذا الحين خل. كيف نقفل بس خلاص. باي.